What's up, guys? I will not be before you long, ideally, but we're stopping. This is my youngest daughter. Hi. And we are stopping to talk about being equally yoked. Or should I say unequally yoked? I think when we hear that, well, first, let me just kind of talk about what a yoke is because it's not egg yolk. Like, I've heard somebody really say that. It is a device that they put on animals to kind of, it's like this wooden contraption that goes around their necks that kind of yoke them together. And if one is too big or too taller than the other one, it can choke it out. You know what I mean? Like they needed to be equally yoked in order to be able to accomplish the task. So cool. Look it up. Pretty cool thing. No. Cool. Pretty cool thing to actually see what that phrase stands for biblically. And so when we talk about it, like we normally hear it in marriage, we don't hear it amongst the other relationships that we have. But I am here today to tell you that you have to be equally yoked amongst your relationships, friendships, and all. Okay. Agreed. When you become friends with people who aren't where you are, not that we're prideful and we put ourselves on levels that are greater than others, but when people are not like genuinely surrendered to the Father and they're not genuinely trying to like grow, you can yoke yourself to someone who can set you back and hinder you. I had a friendship that I thought was genuinely a friendship that would like go to the end of time. And I found out later down the line when the friendship ended that that person internalized things that I went through, meaning anything that I went through, they couldn't deal with it without filtering it through themselves first. Like they put themselves priority over me instead of just loving me where I was or being there for me like wholeheartedly without them being, the center of attention. And that can easily end any kind of relationship because if you are always filtering everything through you and nobody else can just go through whatever they're going through without your biased opinion about how it impacted you and how it affected you, you will find yourself losing folk real quick. What you guys say about that?
True that. No, I understand. Like, I've been in places, like, one thing, I just gotta say, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. Like, I wish I listened to my mom and my dad more when it came about, like, they said, the one rule is, like, out of many other rules, and it's not even, like, harsh rules. It's just, like, until you mature. One of the rules is, like, wait until you're 18 to date. And I broke that one. Not proud of it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I broke that one. And I realized that I am way too mature for the guy that I was with. I was like, what are you? That don't make sense. I'm like, no. But again, yeah, it's just, I ended up ending things with him, but it was just like the fact that I'm like, we're not on the same page with anything, like at all. And until they could say they're Christian, but that don't mean they're Christian. I was like,
that's a whole sermon right there by itself. Like
it is.
There are so many people who use the word Christian as a badge title. Of honor. It's a title. They throw it around real loosely. And I got a whole nother conversation for that, but I'll wait. But man, they use that thing to sell you their character versus showing you their character. So don't let your guards down just because somebody say they come in the name of Christ. Like the Bible says you will know them by their fruit, not because they said they came in my name, but by their fruit. So, get to know them. Slow yourself down and get to know who it is you calling yourself around, because people out here will bamboozle you real quick.
100%.
And you'll be sitting here thinking you have friends and people that you love who are gonna, go the distance with you and be around you the whole time. They're jealous of you and they want your life. They're frenemies. They're too broken to actually be a part of your life. And I can go on and on and on because I've endured some of that all. But like, you really do have to be mindful that you are not just allowing every and anybody access. We owe, as believers, we owe everyone love, not access. So pull back on the access and don't give access without accountability. I have been notoriously guilty for that. Allowing people access to me and you know who I am and how I love, and then when there was time for any reciprocity, it never happened. Why? Because I was allowing the wrong people access. One thing I will tell you is that people who genuinely belong in your life, people who love you, like, reciprocity wouldn't even be a desire or a question, because they're going to just genuinely love you back the way that you love. It's not about tit for tat, because people who are broken will try to throw that in your face. Oh, you're being tit for tat. No, I'm not being tit for tat. What I'm being is someone who's assertive enough to say, I don't have to, continuously walk alongside you once I see how you love if I don't like it. I don't have to, right? I can't make you change, but I can choose to decide that if the way you love, the way that you communicate, the way that you friendship or love, if you're dating or whatever it is, if it's not like where I am, then I just no longer want to experience that. Can I change you? No. Can I make you do it different? No. And the moment you try to change someone and make them do it different because you see potential, you're gonna find yourself wrapped up in a sea of problems that you don't want. You don't want it.
I don't want it.
I'm serious, man. Friends, family, like,
It doesn't really matter what the relationship is, really. It just matter, like, it could be like me and my mom. If we weren't on the same page, we're not equally yoked. If she, God forbid, wanted to live for the world and for herself and not care about her children at the end of the day, all right, that's enough of that. At the end of the day, like, I'm not going to keep putting my Christian values in front of her, and it's not like she's going to care much if she's of the world. She's going to do what make her feel good and make her feel validated and all that stuff. Like I said, oh mom, I'm not comfortable with you drinking around me in my house. If she
can't respect that,
if she respect it,
gotta go.
even if it's your mom,
Yeah.
love her and just keep praying for her.
Because people who love you, again, you ain't got to tell to respect you or treat you right. They're gonna do it out of the fact, that they love and they honor you the way that you love and honor them. I think that we have a bad habit of allowing the world to make us think that, like, strength and maturity and confidence and all those things are like a negative way. Like, people will try to make it seem like your confidence is cocky or conceited or prideful. That's not what it is. It's, I know who I am. I know who God created me to be. And I know that I don't deserve just any old thing. And so, yes, I'm submitted to him. Yes, I am a living sacrifice and I will go where he sends me. But that's for him to get the benefit out of my life, not for man. He did not put me here to be a doormat to any person. And so we got to get that out of our minds, that we are neglecting ourselves for the sake of being a good Christian. Mm-mm. You got to have boundaries. You got to have self-love. You got to know your worth. And you need to make sure that the people who are aligned with you are going the same path that you want, because your circle can end up being your cage if you don't build it right. um I've learned so much in my almost 43 years of living. I have learned so much. And I'm telling you, people do not cease to amaze me. And I have learned to believe God when He tells me who someone is, not the good show that they put on. Because everybody's representative
It's different.
is good. Like they gonna
From
put
who
their
they are,
best
though.
foot forward. Like, oh, I'm so this and I'm so that. The representative of a person is always good. But when you get to know them, when you get to really see them, and sometimes the Lord will tell me something about a person, and I used to, I don't do it no more because I didn't understand it. I'm like, nah, I think I'm tripping. I'm not even an overly critical person. I'm not even a pessimistic person. So why did I ever
She's
question
awesome.
optimistic?
Optimistic.
Like,
I knew how to say the word.
that's not even my personality to be a pessimistic person. So like when I got something, why did I question it? Like, and every single time I would try to be the good saint and move forward in it, being disobedient and got burned. And so it's so important just to be obedient and submitted and surrendered to the Father, because it's going to save you a headache. And that's how you're going to be able to discern who's supposed to be and who's not. I tell my girls all the time, when you want to date somebody, what do I say?
Make sure you know who they are.
What else do I say? Who needs to be in your ear louder than anybody else?
God.
And how do you do that?
By praying and fasting.
Okay, and so what do you tell that person?
You better pray and fast too. And also, like, tell them, like, if God's, I always said, actually, how I ended it, I said, if God's not in the center of it all, I don't want it.
I tell them, you better say, hey, I need 3 days. I need to fast and pray because I need to find out who sent you. And get every and anybody out of your ear who voice can end up being louder than the Father's. Fast and pray. And I promise you, God is faithful enough to tell you. I had a set of friends who things were off. We had already put up with well more than we should have, actually. And we thought that we were helping them for the sake of the good. I'm telling you, that's going to get you in trouble, because good is a difference between doing good and God, okay? You sitting here thinking you're doing a good thing and it ain't what God called for you to do. It is a difference between doing good and God. Doing good going to get you in trouble. But when you do what God called for you to do, you won't be in trouble. And so we thought we were doing the good Christian thing by sticking by their side. And we actually shouldn't have, period. When it was uncomfortable, when things didn't seem right, when things seemed off, we still would find excuses. That's another thing. Stop making excuses for people. When they show you who they are, you better believe it. But we will make excuses now, but maybe they're just, no, maybe they're, no, they were what they were. And we ended up finding out the hard way in the end, even though all the signs were there, but we walked into it eyes wide open, but still blinded because of the good we wanted to walk in. But God had the final say. So I decided to lay things down, pull back, fast, and pray. And as I began to pray, I had dreams about both of those people. And I decided to believe it, even though it seemed far-fetched. Okay. I told my husband, and we decided that we were just going to cut the cord. Period. Point blank. It is what it is. Well, the week that we were going to, have some tough conversations, we found out that they were already snakes. We already, my dreams were factually true. Let's put it that way. So yes, fast and pray. Every friendship, every last one of them, because there's going to be some people who are attracted to your gifting, to your calling, to your anointing, and they may present themselves as people who you think got your back, but
they don't.
The whole time they're actually jealous. They're actually in it for what they benefit from being around you. And you can't tell because you are so used to messing around in a broken system of people who don't have your back that bare minimum is enough. We got to get past the point where bare minimum is enough. Bare minimum is not enough. Like, again, don't give them access without accountability. And you need to take inventory. Take inventory. When you have friends, I'm gonna need you to do run it like a business. And I know that sounds really crazy, but like seriously, like start taking inventory, because there are spiritual leeches, and some people will attach to you again because you benefit them. But when you need something, while you bending over backwards for everybody else. They won't even take a bow for you when you winning. You can't call them for nothing. They're always busy. They can never be inconvenienced for you. You need to take inventory, because that may not be your friend no more. Seasons change for a reason. I heard a pastor just say not too long ago, um, the reason leaves fall from the tree is because in one season they nourish the tree, but in another they can pull from the nourishment of the tree. I thought that was kind of cool, because I always used to say that autumn comes to remind us, that how
There's a
beautiful it
season of
is.
dying.
Well, how
Just that
beautiful it is. Because, like, think about autumn. Like, you go out, it's just like all these pretty looking leaves, and they're all orange and burgundy. And I mean, it's just beautiful. Yellow.
Some are red.
Yeah, but that's my whole point. Like, you go out and you look at it, and the reality of it is they're dead. Autumn comes to remind us how beautiful it is to let dead things go. Seriously. Because if you try to take someone who was in your summer season into your winter season, baby, you're going to come out in trouble. Because what you're going to soon realize is that when winter come and they not dressed for the winter, they are willing to take the clothes off your back to warm themselves. Stop taking people into seasons they don't belong in. So yes, inventory is important. Do they belong in this season? Because if they don't belong in this season, they may not be prepared for the next one. I think we said enough.
You did. Yeah.
I said it was going to be that long, and here we are, 16 minutes in. But I pray that this bless somebody. I am really just continuously walking in obedience. And I'm trying to just be consistent with this post thing. Now, I missed last Monday. Um, so I'm going to do my best to not do it again. And you know what? Maybe it's every other week for right now. I don't know. We are going to work on y'all, whoever it is, even if it's just the one. um the Lord positioned something in front of me that I think will forever change how I look at doing this. These videos I know are tools in his hands, and there are souls attached to them. So looking at that in that way has changed how I look at what I'm doing, because people out here by the millions are losing it, and not everybody has tomorrow at hand. So here I am doing my part, along with all of the things that I do locally. But if this is the only way that I can reach somebody in Zimbabwe or Nigeria or wherever you're watching this
or
from,
the UK,
hey, then so be it. I pray that God has blessed you with whatever has been shared today, and that you truly begin to govern over the relationships that you have. Um, and let them honor him, because someone who is willing to hold you down can never hold you up. And I know we are real big on that. Oh, they hold me down. They hold me down. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Let them hold you up to the standard of Christ. Let them push you to calling. Because if they exchange, there's always a what?
exchange.
It's always an exchange. And if that exchange isn't pushing you toward the kingdom, then it's pulling you away, and it ain't worth it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Layer by layer, we heal, and healing looks good on us. God bless you all, and goodbye.